Folkloric is a bi-weekly podcast that will take a look at all the things in this world that make humans feel insignificant and scared.
Or uncomfortable and confused.
We will talk about the stories, the magic, and the cryptids.
And discuss their significance in culture and society.
Each episode will focus on one subject,
though tangents should be expected.
And we will learn about the history and the lore behind those subjects, and maybe have some silly fun along the way. So tune in every other Sunday. Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. The following episode has inferred sexual assault and suicidal ideation. If that is something that you are uncomfortable with, just please be aware. Also, in this episode, we talk about Coyote Shivers and how cool his name is without actually realizing that he's not that great of a person. And you can do your own research. We're celebrating it late this year, guys. Happy Rex Manning Day. This is Once More with Feelings. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth. And this is an emotional journey podcast in which we watch movies and we talk about our emotions and the emotions of the characters within.
All the emotions.
All of them.
This week we are doing Empire Records.
Happy Rex Manning Day.
Yes, I kept
It is not actually Rex Manning Day.
No, because that's April 8th.
Yeah, we missed it.
That's why I said late.
Although I did post it. No one posted it back.
Well, I will now.
So, Joe runs Empire Records, an independent Delaware store that employs a tight-knit group of music-savvy youths. Hearing that the shop may be sold to a big chain, slacker employee Lucas bets a chunk of the store's money, hoping to get a big return. When this plan fails, Empire Records falls into serious trouble, and the various other clerks, including Lovely Corey and Gloomy Deb, must deal with the problem, among many other issues. And that is from IMDb.
Gloomy Deb.
Please don't hurt me for that. I did not write it.
Deb.
Gloomy Deb. You know Gloomy Deb.
God.
She's gloomy from way back.
Okay, so I have a lot to go on.
Yeah.
But,
okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. We're just going to move on because Gloomy Deb is already, yes, it's causing me issues.
It's causing me issues now.
Okay. Suicide is painless.
Okay, so this movie was 1995.
It was.
Alan Moyle, he was the director.
He did Pump Up the Volume.
Pump up the volume, pump up the
He
volume.
did New Waterford Girl and Weirdsville.
Okay.
Some really good films.
I mean, obviously this is a huge cast and there's a lot of people in it from like everything in the 90s.
Oh yeah, this has got up and comers. It's got some
you'll never see again, some you'll never recognize again, but they've been in a lot of things.
Sure. I think most of them are people you will see quite a lot, actually.
So, I didn't have a lot of pre-feelings because this is actually the first time I've seen this. But again, as I was trying to explain to you why I had never seen this movie before, it never came up on my radar. It never came up on my radar. I had a 1-year-old in 1995. I was going through a lot of emotional shit. I was getting married. I was 20. I mean, there was a lot, you know.
You had things going on.
I had a lot of shit happening in my life, and it was very weird. And so when we talked about in past podcasts, I think I've mentioned this before, why I didn't, or even now, have issues with the show Friends. Nothing against the show. It has nothing to do with the show particularly. It has to do with I have a hard time relating to. Okay, I can't watch something unless I can relate to it or it piques my interest. And with Friends, it doesn't A, pique my interest, and B, I can't relate to the characters because at the time when I was a 20-something, I was a mom and I was a housewife. And so seeing these people dating and going and having troubles like that and having like careers, what the fuck is a career in your 20s? And yeah, it was something I couldn't relate to. I didn't find it entertaining because it was just beyond my grasp. And this movie coming out right at that time where I was very much in a bad place mentally. And watching it now, the nostalgia of even just who I was then is funny. Like just the clothing and like the one woman on the screen at one point, I'm like, I had that haircut. You know? And it's like, and I wore that outfit, you know. So it's very, and that music, oh God, the music. But I didn't, you know, it's hard for me to give you a before feelings because again, I was just in a really messed up place for a while. And again, then when like in the years that had passed, it just never crossed my radar. People would mention it and I would just be like, You know, it just never was like a thing I thought, oh, I need to watch this
Had
movie.
you heard about it during the time that it was coming out?
Vaguely remember people. I think my sister mentioned it, but it was like, she's 7 years younger than me. So I think it was definitely like entertainment for her. But I wasn't, obviously, because I was older, I wasn't living at home. And so I think I remember her talking about it, but I don't remember like her seeing it, but that doesn't mean anything, you know, but I do remember people talking about it, but very, very vaguely, like,
Right.
oh yeah, we went to go see this movie, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I did not see this in the movies at all. I saw it on DVD, and it was, I think I was getting a divorce then?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe? No, it's 95.
Yeah.
So I may have just been getting married. I was prepping for divorce then by marrying someone, because that's the best way for me to get a divorce is I find to get married
Yeah,
first.
I don't know what...
And then just be myself, and then I find that I often can get a divorce.
Yeah, I don't know what month this came out, but like if it came out in like August or September, I had, you know, first birthday and actual wedding plans, you know.
Yeah. So I remember seeing it on DVD. My friends were often the catalyst for me watching anything, really.
Yeah.
Because I was in like this, like mid-90s, 95 through 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a haze.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like you, wasn't doing well, but for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying to come to terms with everything. But when I saw this was, I think, in the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
And that is when I was at my height of having a friend group.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my 30s. You know, I had friends around me all the time, or at least in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe not 30s. And I was just having a good time with them.
Yeah.
And this was nostalgic. Like you said, it is a very nostalgic hit watching this, especially now, because you're really throwing yourself back. But I'm seeing this 5 years after the movie came out.
Yeah.
Or so. And I remember feeling like I wanted to work in a record store.
I know.
I wanted to be that stupid kid that had no responsibility, and that the biggest thing that could happen to you is, I don't know, being called out by another kid that day for doing methamphetamine or something like that, or speed or whatever it might be. It's just, I wanted to be carefree enough to not care about the consequences of things.
Knowing that they're making minimum wage at the best. And at that time, minimum wage was what, $5.05? You know? And so knowing that they were making ass money and yet they were all cool about it, you know?
Not to be, you know, the adult in the room saying, well, they had it so easy. They didn't have to worry about things. They had things to worry about. The characters had things to worry about. They had things that they had to deal with, just like we did when we were younger. They meant everything to you because you're the one that has to live that life. And you're making some very big decisions during that time. These are all high school kids. Mm-hmm. Almost all. Yeah. That are having to figure out what they're doing for the rest of their lives. And they're worried about the way their lives are going to go. Mm-hmm. And there are these archetypes that are set within the characters. You have the slut.
Mm-hmm.
which I really fucking hate that she wasn't empowered from the start,
I
because
know.
I love I love Gina so much. She does fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
But she does it out of spite. That's when she does it.
Yeah, she's using her
But
sexuality as a weapon and one that she wields and not,
right. And this is, Renee Zellweger is fucking awesome
oh, yeah.
in the part. She does a great job.
Baby Renee.
And I think that, it's one of the iconic things, even more than Liv Tyler. I think Gina is the iconic,
Mm-hmm.
like, the person you think about when you think about the movie.
Yeah.
When I think about the soul of the movie, I think about Robin Tooney's character, which is Deborah.
Yes.
I think about her, and that's 2 tonal shifts.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And we have more. We have a large cast. And I think that when you look at the entire thing as a whole, you see why it works.
Oh, yeah. So, I didn't know this, because again, first time watching this, I didn't know that she shaves her head. And so I had to look it up. Did she do that in real, was that real? I mean, obviously it was real. And then I was like, okay, well, how close was this her first movie, or was The Craft her first movie? She did The Craft right after this and had to wear wigs because her hair hadn't grown in. So she, things I did not realize.
Yeah, it's one right after the other.
So that explains why her hair does look really like lush. And then I remember when we were watching her on The Mentalist, and I'm thinking, gosh, age didn't do well for her hair. Now, she's gorgeous in The Mentalist, don't get me wrong, but her hair, the texture, and I'm thinking, well, my hair texture is so different from when I was in my 20s, and now I know why, because she was wearing a fucking wig, But
I think they did a good job with the wig.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it is a different texture than her normal hair, and a different color.
Well, yes, because she's going for that. There's a redhead look, and then when she has the glamours, it's the blonde, and it's not her normal dark hair. Which again, I didn't even really think about as her natural hair color because of. I always think of her. I think of The Craft, and yeah, she was in. We've talked about this movie not on the show, but you and I have talked about this movie. So there was a movie back in the 80s with Paul Williams, where he's not even credited. And that's the funny thing, is he's not even credited in the movies. If you look at his IMDb, it doesn't even show up. But the movie's called Frog. Okay? He plays a prince that was turned into a frog. And his name is Gus. And he finds a boy named Arlo, and they end up, he helps him, blah, blah, blah. Robin was in the sequel, which I didn't even know existed, called Frogs.
With a Z?
With an S.
Oh, okay.
And an exclamation point.
I'm like, come on, Robin, you're better than that.
Really?
No Z films.
No Z. But it's just funny because, I don't know why Paul Williams is not credited in a movie that he literally voices the frog. And you see him. That's why I knew it was Paul Williams as a kid.
Could be a little embarrassing.
Because he kind of has a froggy look about him.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he plays.
Couldn't tell you.
I always thought he was a froggy looking little man. He's probably 7 feet tall, but I always think he's small. I don't know. He's 84 years old, so Paul Williams is still kicking it.
True.
Okay. So, and we know why April 8th, right? Why they chose April 8th for Rex Manning. I'll let you explain Rex Manning for those who don't know. But
Rex Manning is Maxwell Caulfield, first of all.
Yes.
Who is a beautiful man.
Oh my God, yes.
Just beautiful. In this, very smarmy.
Yeah, well, I wanted to punch his little face in. His beautiful face.
So Max Caulfield, he did Grease 2, which is where everybody's going to know him from. So he's used to doing music. Original music.
Yes.
Cutting edge music.
Because that song.
Much like Rex Manning. He did The Boys Next Door, which is kind of cool. And he was in, he did Dynasty. So Max Caulfield didn't do a lot because he really kind of got full of himself. But let's not go into the personal things of Max Caulfield.
No, he's good at playing what he played.
And he did Rex Manning very well.
He did.
I think he did. He really fit into the Bye Bye Birdie of things. And I think that Rex Manning is a big time musical artist, but probably a little over his peak.
Oh, yeah.
and definitely falling out of the times. So, like, you have grunge and you have, heavy metal, and they all have their times in points of place in the zeitgeist, or the zeitgeist. I don't know why I said zeitgeist.
I don't know.
And Rex has gone beyond it without changing.
Yeah, he's still kind of the late 80s butter pop. I mean, it's just like definitely
That is an excellent way of saying it.
Sweet, in love songy and boppish. I mean, it's a bop, don't get me wrong. His song is definitely, I could see it getting stuck in your head like an earwig. I mean, but definitely not for that period of time. He sticks out in a bad way. He's right there in the middle of peak Gin Blossoms, peak Nirvana, peak, I mean, fucking Gwar shows up in a hallucination. And if y'all know who a Gwar is, bless your stinking hearts, man.
Spoilers right there, so.
Gwar is not a spoiler, it's a scary thought is what it is. They're
just told them the entire plot to Empire Records.
Is Gwar.
And
what is it, the H.R. Puffin stuff cod piece dick?
Which is awesome. That's
how it was described in an article I read about them years ago, and I've never not forgotten that.
Because that's not going to be a fever dream later for everyone.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. We have Gwar. And that's important because they were a get. I mean, we were looking for somebody to bring in, and they found Gwar, and they're like, we got Gwar!
Yeah, but even Gwar is so not that. I mean, yes, it is that time. But it is not, if you want to talk about like...
They're not mainstream.
No, but if you want to talk about like the feel of mid-90s music, Gwar is not.
Name some bands.
From the mid-90s?
Sure.
I did. I said Gin Blossoms. I said Nirvana.
And now you got Gwar.
I don't want...
Gwar's timeless.
We've got Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots.
Those are the same band.
They are far from the same band. I can understand Stone Temple Pilots. I have issues with Pearl Jam, but...
There is a lot of music in this film, and there should be, because it's a record store.
It is a record store. And they have all different types of music,
Yeah,
too.
They do. That is one of the things I did love about this film.
They got a freaking Yoko Ono song in there. I was like,
know.
Holy shit,
What
nice.
I love about this is they get enough music in by stopping and starting.
Oh, yeah.
By different people that work there hating something and playing their own thing.
Or playing something as a theme to something else.
Right.
Or, just to fuck with everybody.
But they shovel a lot into this, and it's good because it sounds like something organic.
Oh, yeah.
And you get all this extra, you get so many mixes, and you get a real, snapshot.
This is like when I used to have iTunes on my laptop, and I would sit and I would just back and forth between different songs all over my thousands of songs I had on my iTunes, because it wasn't randomly picked for me. I would just go through, I don't want to hear those. Oh, I haven't heard that in a while. And that watching that movie was like me playing on iTunes.
Yeah, it's an ADHD fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. And that's the great thing about this movie is it doesn't hit on one note and stay with that. You're not listening to a lot of grunge, you're not listening to a lot of heavy metal or anything like that. You're getting pieces of each. And you get them in different formats too, which is great. Sometimes they're CDs, sometimes they're a record, and sometimes they're on a phone. Of all things.
Well, because Empire Records is a record store, it holds a lot of, and it's been around. What did it say? 1956 on the billboard. So it has things that modern record stores would not have, and it is the booths that you can go in and listen to. It has the headphone jacks that you can plug in and listen to. And these are things that, we can barely even find a place that sells used records in this area that has a ton of used record stores.
Oh, yeah. I bought you the record player, and we went around everywhere trying to find records.
And we couldn't find anything good. I mean...
I know. We're finding, really old, easy listening music.
What did we end up buying? We ended up buying, I ended up buying the Broadway soundtrack to Hair, not the movie, which is the one I wanted. Um,
It was the closest we could get. And it's not bad. It's just
not bad.
it's a live recording, which is
It's just not the same as what I was in my head, what I grew up
sure.
with. And then, shit, I can't even remember what the other two albums are that we bought, but they
were desperation buys.
like we felt bad.
Yeah,
and we were kind of like, oh, we need to have some records, so we need to go out record shopping again.
Well, no, that's not true. I got the Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, you did get the Gordon Lightfoot album.
I do like that. Now.
I think we got I can't remember what that other one was.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's in there somewhere.
It's in there on the record.
One day we'll play it, or it'll just sit there collecting dust.
Probably, yeah. But so yeah, this movie has the music that and again, this is the music that I was listening to on the radio and in the car and when cleaning the house and taking care of my baby. And, this was all the stuff that I was constantly, when my ex wasn't listening to his music, this is what I was listening to, because a lot of it was, I had to listen to what he liked. And don't get me wrong, I like a lot of the music that he liked, but I also liked a lot of the modern, like not modern, but like the more, popular grungy stuff that was going on at the time that he was not really as into. So, I mean, shout out to Jane's Addiction, because that shit's, that's my jam right there. But, and Porno for Pyros. But again, they weren't mainstream at the time. You weren't going to hear them on the radio on like every day, but you're going to hear like, Matchbox 80 or something like that. You're going to hear somebody else's, and I wasn't listening to it. I would listen to it when it was my turn, when I was home alone. That's when I got to listen to my music.
Having control of music is a pretty big thing. So
especially for me. But yeah, sorry, that was my weird laugh. So you were explaining Rex Manning. I'm sorry, went on a tangent.
I mean, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
Rex Manning is coming in to the store. He's on a tour, obviously promoting his latest album, which no one seems to really like, but they all keep telling him how much they like it. Because Rex Manning is on the decline.
Yes.
He is waning.
I mean, he's doing a tour of record stores.
Right. And you understand how bad it is, because the people that are coming into the store, older women, who are attracted to him, not really to his music.
Yes.
And they will stand for him because they act like they like his music because they think he's pretty.
Yes. So Rex Manning Day is April 8th. And April 8th was significant when they were doing this movie. They chose it because April 8th is the day that they found Kurt Cobain's body.
Right.
And Ethan Embry was quoted as saying that when Kurt Cobain died, the grunge movement of the 90s lost its mascot. And I agree with that, yet at the same time, grunge continued on, and there's still some stuff now today that I'm like, whoa, that's got some grunge smack to it. But yeah, it was a moment. It was a awesome moment. But I also like to equate grunge music to a lot of alternative music of the 90s, which, again, I have my weird love of music and my weird way of looking at it. I hate when they call stuff alternative, but yet it sounds like it could just be on the radio and on the as a pop song. Like, that's not really,
which is most of the alternative.
Yeah, well, that's because nowadays pop music isn't the same. It's more. It's got a little bit more of that R&B flair to it because everyone wants to sound the same with the same beats and stuff. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge music. I'm just saying that I'm old and things don't sound like they did when I was a kid. God dang it.
Well, I mean, that is true.
Okay, but speaking of Ethan Embry real quick, and I will shut up for a hot minute. Ethan Embry, he was in one of, honestly, this is one of those shows that probably could have gone farther, but I feel like it didn't appear at the right time. Freaky Links.
Never saw it.
Oh my God. So it was a very early internet, it was an actual TV show, but it was early internet time. It came out, I think, after Empire Records. And he plays a twin brother. His twin got killed. There's some weird, like, spooky-doo going on. And him and a bunch of friends run a supernatural kind of investigation group, and they go through a website, so that's hence the freaky links.
Right.
And honestly, I think because it came out way before Supernatural came out, I think it was a good premise. I think it just the right audience wasn't ready for it. And it was like when I was really getting involved with Weird New Jersey, so it was kind of like that time period. It really could have been awesome. But so yeah, he was on that, and I always think about that whenever I think of him because he has piercing blue eyes.
Well, he was in Can't Hardly Wait.
Yes, that's his other piercing blue
something
eyes.
we all know. Sweet Home Alabama and The Guest.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
The 90s were good to him.
Mm-hmm. Warren Beatty, aka Shoplifting Kid, he was in an episode of Poker Face.
Was he?
Yeah, because when I was looking him up, because I'm like, did he do anything? I mean, I recognize his face, but what did he do? This was the second thing he'd ever done. I forget what the first one he did, but this was the second movie/TV show he'd ever done. He was in the episode with the con artists. How she becomes friends with them, and they show her how to con, but she's showing them how to con. When they fake the guy's death.
Yeah, I understand the episode.
I don't remember
you have to explain to me who the hell he is.
He's one of the cons, but he's one of the husbands. I don't know which one he is though, because he does not look like he did.
Okay, yeah. He doesn't look the same. Then.
Well, no, I mean he's a kid here, but you know.
I know, but I don't recognize.
But he was in a lot of things. But I thought that was funny that you would appreciate the Poker Face reference.
Okay.
And I think it's all the weird stuff I know.
Well, I'm glad you ran it all down at once.
I know.
So the day starts out with Lucas fucking things up.
Oh, yeah.
In the most zen way possible.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously got some issues, but he's not going to let that stop him. He gambles away like $9,000.
He goes to Atlantic City, and he should have known when he passed Trump Plaza that this was all going to go south fast.
Well, he's gambling away the money from the day's take from the day before.
Yes.
Because he was the closer. He was the one closing that night. So instead of turning the money in to the bank, he takes it and he gambles it.
Because he's an idiot.
Well, he wins. He does double it.
He does.
And then he loses it exactly.
Because that's how it happens. Because it's Atlantic City. And
because the house always fucking wins. That's how you know.
When you win, you don't. Here's the trick, folks. You're not going to win. But if you win, walk away. Even if it's $5 you walk the fuck away. Because you're never going to see that $5 again if you turn it over. Because it won't turn over. It won't turn over.
Nope. It only does it once in a while for people so that you think you can do it too.
Yeah, so walk away. Go buy yourself a coffee.
Anyway, he's very chaotic. Lucas is our chaos machine here.
Like he tells him to stay on the couch.
I think actually Lucas in this film is very much entropy. He is the thing that provides change, even though you're not really wanting the change.
Yes.
And there are changes that are happening. See, Joe Reeves, who's played by Anthony LaPaglia, can never do that. I can never get that last name
Paglia.
right. LaPaglia.
Mm-hmm.
I do this every time. Cannot say it right. Anyway, Antony. Playing Joe Reeves, who is the manager of Empire Records, is kind of the surrogate father to Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucas is trying to get away with a lot of shit. And apparently it's not the first time he's done this.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. But he is being trusted with closing for the night.
Yes.
And he's very happy about it. And he's concentrating on doing it. But he does not do the things he's concentrating on. He just goes the other way with it.
Well, isn't he told like this to not touch my stuff, basically? And he
right.
touched everything.
Don't touch my cigars. Don't touch my liquor. Don't count the money twice. Well, he counted the money twice and gambled it away while smoking a cigar and drinking his liquor.
Yeah, I mean, short of licking everything, he really much did everything the opposite of what he was told.
But he does it in a very zen way, so it seems to be okay. Oh. Like, you're like, oh, maybe he's got this handled. He does not have this handled.
Have this handled.
But he doesn't seem to have an issue once it happens.
No.
he just kind of zens his way out of the picture for a little bit.
Well, yeah, and the fact that he just walks back into work like, "Hey, y'all."
I mean, he walks back in later on, and
Yeah.
when I first saw the movie, I'm like,
I would
he's
not.
dumb enough to come back.
I would never have shown my face there
But
again.
that's that thing of like the youthful, like there is no real responsibility.
Yeah.
You have no sense of like you have to answer for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it just seemed like that's kind of playing on that whole thing.
Bunch of Gen Xers with no responsibilities.
I know. But I mean, this is a large cast. You got a lot of stuff. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
Corey, who's like this overachieving, like fragile person.
Yeah.
Okay. It's this Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Playing Corey. And she's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But you get the sense very early on that that's all a facade. It's not that she's not sweet. It's just that her calm is the facade.
Yes. Inside, she's frantic.
Yeah. You get the sense that there's a lot of things going on that she's not dealing with.
Yeah.
And
or she doesn't want other people to know she's dealing with.
Right. And she's got some fixations.
Mm-hmm.
One of those being Rex Manning.
She reminds me a lot of me when I was younger. Not the overachieving part, but definitely the hiding, everyone, oh, but Michelle's so happy and Michelle, no, she's not. And then and having the fixations because y'all didn't see my Star Wars wall or my River Phoenix Will Wheaton, Corey Feldman wall because again, fixations.
She's got more than one fixation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she definitely has it. And she is completely unaware of AJ, who has a crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
These are all kids in a record store. Someone's going to be in love with someone in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's the couple. There are a lot of B stories to the A story.
Yeah, there's not really, there's a lot of interwoven.
Yeah, the A story is that Empire Records is going to close
and become a music town.
So it's indicative of that time period of the big box takeovers of all the smaller locally owned.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to wonder why Joe thought it was going to be a good idea to start, to buy this record store to start another one. Because your love of music isn't going to isn't going to defeat. If love of something that you do defeated big box stores, there'd be no big box stores.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. This is this is the cusp of CDs. So they still sold cassettes there, and they were still using cassettes. And at some point in the near future, that's going to disappear, and then it's only going to be CDs. And then let's see, we're 95. We are right there on the next cusp, which happens super fast, of streaming music. When you're gonna get Napster.
Oh, it's the huge piracy.
Yeah, you're gonna get that. That's right there, and that happens like boom, 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 boom. So
well, you get a good sense of that in the medium that's used in the film because you get records that are albums that are there, but you also have CDs, that kind of thing. I'm surprised they didn't have those little. You remember those little digital?
Oh my God!
I forget what they're called, Omnis and stuff.
Yeah, the little the pre-iPod.
Yeah, pre-iPod, which that in that itself
would come in
can fill a record store, right?
That's like a decade away, I think, right? Yeah.
Not that far away.
Yeah, because let's see, I was in Texas in 2005 and iPods were like the shit. So yeah, this is just 10 years away. That is no time at all. So yeah.
One of the harder parts in this movie is fairly shortly into the front end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because a lot of the stuff is kind of frantic. A lot of the stuff is kind of like crazy kid stuff, and they get away with a lot of shit because Joe is a good guy, but he lets a lot of shit happen. He does not throw the hammer down very often at all. But maybe that's because his style works.
Maybe.
I don't think I could control these kids.
Oh, hell no.
I think Joe does a good job he's herding cats. So he's learned just to put catnip out and let them herd themselves.
I mean, that's true. He has standards, you know, because you see, like Ethan Embry, he's cleaning, he's dusting, he's doing things. You see other characters, I mean, they're doing their job, but they're fucking around too. So
But he's allowing them the space.
yeah, so it's probably a case of, I don't care what you do, just make sure you do the job that you're here for, and then we'll all have a good time.
I think that works for a bunch of kids who have no attention span.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah,
That works in a classroom.
exactly.
That's why I don't care if they put their feet up on their desks, because, you know, as long as you're doing the work, who gives a shit how you sit? Sorry, that's me.
So Deborah comes in. She's got short hair.
Little Bob, yeah.
Little Bob. You don't see her face because she comes in. You're watching her come in from behind her. The camera's following her. She gives people the finger, especially Gina and Corey. And you get the sense that she really doesn't get along with many people in here, mainly because she's just here, you know. And she comes in and she starts cutting her hair off in the bathroom. Somewhere along the way, clippers show up. Yep. No idea where clippers...
She might have brought them with her, but, you know.
She may have, but it's a weird place to do it. If you already had the clippers, why not do it? Anyway.
Let somebody else clean up the hair.
It's always bothered me. But yeah, she cuts off all her hair. And you know as well as I do, cutting off your hair is a symbolic and emotional gesture all to itself. And it speaks of... And just we should put something ahead of this, that there's going to be some suicidal ideation here.
An essay assumption.
And assumptions of essay and stuff like that are throughout this film. But handled very lightly in a lot of ways. So Deborah cuts off her hair and she's got tears in her eyes. And you can see, if you're paying attention when she's doing it, she's got a bandage on one of her wrists.
Yes.
It's one of those things that when she comes out of the bathroom and you see her without her hair, and everyone's noticing that there is kind of a veil that follows her of emotion that people glom onto. They understand, even if they don't know how to say anything, they know something big has happened.
Yeah, they're aware that something happened and she's made a huge change. Why would she make that change? Obviously something created that because she walked in there with hair.
Right. And in their way, Corey and Gina try to talk to her, but in their way, and that's with teenage girls, they're going to talk to each other in the voices that they know, even if they're not compatible with each other. Deborah doesn't have the same life as Gina or Corey. So they're trying to talk, but it's not really clicking. And even though they know they're not communicating well, you can tell that Deborah still appreciates being seen in some way.
Yes.
But this is going to be a thing that goes through the film, is it's this girl who has shaved her head. And Joe notices, but he doesn't say anything immediately at all. He gives everybody time.
Yeah.
Whereas Lucas, who is kind of the son to Joe.
Yeah.
Lucas is entropy. Joe is a constant.
Yes.
Joe is that unifying force that holds the core. And then you have all these kids that kind of revolve around the two.
Yeah.
And they're pulled by Lucas, or they're pulled by the music, and they're pulled by this, but it's always Joe that brings them back into orbit. So you have, and through this you have AJ, who is an artist. He's emotional, and he wants to tell Corey how much he loves her.
Yes.
He's got a crush on her. He's in love with her. She doesn't know that. And he wants to tell her, and he's going to tell her today.
On Rex Manning Day.
On Rex Manning Day at 11:37 a.m.
Yes.
Because that's when he's going to do it.
What I think, like you were saying about how the girls talk to each other and, teenage, early 20-something,
Sure.
post-teen. I guess I don't know what they are. 18, 19-year-olds, probably maybe a 20-year-old thrown in there for immaturity purposes. I like how Gina was like saying, something about the sinead of it all, because of her hair, and when Joe gives them all the flyers for Music Town because he realizes that, well, he's fucked, and this is what we're gonna.
He doesn't the flyer. It's not flyers.
No,
Those
they're
are
not flyers.
rules.
It's rules. They're rules of the employees, and how the girls actually they bond but bicker. So like Gina and Deb are sitting there like, oh, no visual tattoos, no revealing clothing. And then instead of like being like, well, oh God, I'm fucked. No, they bicker. Well, you're going to be screwed because, you constantly wear shorter and shorter skirts. Well, you and your permanent, body art, it's like they're at each other, but yet they're commiserating together. And
Right.
I love how Gina comes in later on wearing the apron, just the apron and her underwear, and dancing around in just the apron and her underwear.
What you see later on by other people wearing it as well during the party.
During the party, which is so funny.
And I think that's Gina though. She's bold.
Mm-hmm.
And she does things because she knows she has the power to do it.
I mean, the way she licked that album cover, I'm sorry, that jacket was probably dirty as sin, and she was driving. How?
But again, she's kind of a little bit of chaos herself, but I think she's really worried about becoming her mother.
Yes.
And a lot of that fuels her own desires to act out. And it's not just acting out, she does it mainly when she has an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because she wants to be acknowledged and she wants to have a voice, and she doesn't feel she has a voice.
Well, yeah.
In fact, she feels so much so that she doesn't have a voice that she won't even try to audition for music roles because she wants to sing, she wants to be in a band, but she won't audition for them because she's afraid.
Yeah, I mean, because it's hard to hear the word no, even though no is not the worst thing someone can say to you. But yet it is definitely a hard thing to hear especially when it's something that you are passionate about. You see, like also with Corey, so she has the struggle. Gina has the struggle with not wanting to be like her mother, and you see Deb having her struggle with just the
life.
The heaviness that is life. And Corey, you get
self-loathing.
Mm-hmm. But Corey, you get this impression that she is one of those overachievers who has to be perfect, but there's just not enough time in a day for all of what she needs to do to keep this persona going. So you find out when her and Gina have a fight later on that she's she's taking pills.
Speed.
Yeah, she's on speed. So to keep herself going, because again, there is only 24 hours in a day and you can only do so much, and eventually you do have to sleep, though I have a kitten that likes to believe otherwise.
Well, she's afraid of imperfection.
Yes.
She's afraid of letting anyone down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that is kind of why she focuses on Rex Manning. Because it's something she feels she could control. Because she doesn't feel she has control. She has to please everyone.
Yes.
And the only way to be perfect is to keep pleasing them and to make them happy. And Rex Manning isn't someone she is around all the time, but he's here.
Yeah.
And now she has to make him happy.
He's an unobtainable goal,
Right.
which sometimes when you live in that land of perfection, those unobtainable goals keep you sane, because again, there's nowhere to fail. You can't fail. It's just unobtainable. So you can say you're pursuing it and that you're heading for it, but when there's just no way for you to ever complete that quest per se, it's kind of sometimes the overachieved mind goes, oh, that's so satisfying. And that can keep me going. And it can look like I'm still in the good and in the no and in the upper whatever, because I can't fail at this because I'll never get to it. So I think that's where Rex Manning is, where she's saying, I'm going to throw myself at him. She honestly thought that was going to work for her. Otherwise she wouldn't have gone there, because I think in her mind, in the categorized way she sees things, again, this overachieve aspect, she was not going to fail at this.
A leads to B, leads to C.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, she was ready to take that step of, this is no longer the unobtainable quest. Now I'm going to go for it and see what happens. And unfortunately, it didn't go the way she expected,
And when it does, she spirals.
yeah, she spirals fast.
Yeah. So she has a breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start seeing all the cracks in the facade that she's put before herself.
Yeah.
That porcelain mask is all cracked now, and she can't pull it back together.
Yeah.
Because everybody sees it now. They see the imperfections. They see her finally.
And I think where Gina, Deb already comes in broken and dealing with shit. You see Corey lose her shit because things don't go the way she expected them to, and sometimes that's the worst. But then there's Gina, who she doesn't expect much, so there's not very far to fall when things don't go the way, yeah, everyone got...
Well, she's dismissed. She gets dismissed about a lot of things.
yeah.
What does anything matter if she's dismissed?
Exactly. And so
lashing out's like the thing to do.
Yeah. And then, but she doesn't have as I don't want to say like I said, as far as to fall. It's just, she brushes it off in a way that the other two girls are not able to, because she can be pissed and she's got the righteous fury of being pissed. Now, yeah, she did a really shitty thing, but also fuck everybody else. I did what I could do because I could do it. It was my control. I could fucking do this. And I knew I was going to be able to do this.
She fucked Rex Manning.
She did.
It was Rex Manning
right
day.
right after Rex Manning turned Corey down. So that's kind of a,
well, because they had the fight, Gina had to show that she could get that job done.
But also, again, while they get pissed at her and she gets pissed back, she doesn't get as pissed off as trying to off herself or throwing shit around. She's mad, but she's
hurt.
She's hurt.
She's hurt through life.
Yeah.
I mean, she's looking, as she even says, am I going to be like my mother? Am I just going to fail my entire life? Am I just going to be this? This is it. This is all I have. I go nowhere beyond this.
Yeah.
I peaked at high school.
It's weird, though, that, I can look at all three girls and I could see myself and see parts of myself in all three of them. And I think that was very deliberate. I think you're supposed to be able to see parts of yourself in all the characters, male or female. I think you should be able to see something you can relate to in some of the characters. Maybe not all of them. Ethan Embry's character. He's adorable, don't get me wrong, but he's a little space cadet.
Mark is kind of, he is the stoner archetype, but he
likes Pink Floyd, so bonus points there.
But he's sweet.
He's very sweet.
He has no guile.
Like with the ballerina, and he kissed her foot.
Yeah, he has no guile. He kissed her foot and she smiled. Do you know why? Because he had no guile. It wasn't sexual.
Nope.
He was
trying to clean around her, and she was cute and everything, but
he was just being sweet, and he moved on. Yep. He was not leering. He was not. Mark is one of those people that you're like, he's not going to go anywhere in life.
Yep.
Bad things are going to happen to him, and he's going to keep on going, and he's not going to get anywhere in life. But you know what? Everybody around him loves him.
He would have been the one I would have probably liked. Like, if that was my friend group,
sure,
he would have been the one I would have always wanted to hang out with, because he would have driven me insane. But he seemed so much fun, and because he's so sweet.
Don't forget too that Mark is the one that has that steps up.
Oh yeah, he's the reason why they end up with the party at the end.
Yeah, he
and making the
up.
money.
He makes the call.
Oh yeah,
he does the thing that needs to be done because he has that idea.
And because he has no guile in embarrassing himself. I would have had a hard time running out into the street and standing in front of the reporter to make an announcement like that. And you make such an executive order at such a young age for a company that doesn't belong to me, that would have put me in a very uncomfortable position. But I would have been like,
the things
Go,
they do.
Mark.
The things they do is not for Empire Records. The things they do is for Joe.
Oh yeah, no, it's for Joe.
Because Empire Records is not owned by Joe. It's owned by douchebag, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I didn't even write him down. So.
Yeah, he's unimportant to the thing. But he is a douchebag. Anyway, because he wants to own plumbing supplies or something.
Yeah, because that's what it was before. It was yeah.
Right. But Mark is the guy you want because he's sweet, because he's kind, and because he will be there and he will reflect that love that you give him right back to you.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what makes Ethan's character so important to this film.
Well, and that I had a crush on Ethan, so there you
Sure.
go. Again, those blue eyes. And honestly, not gonna lie, but Banco's name in real life is like probably the coolest badass name. His name is Coyote Shivers, and that is like pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
That's a pretty fucking badass name. I mean, they give him the name Banco as a character. I'm like, oh my god, keep his fucking name, Coyote Shivers. It's a fucking badass name. I mean, shit.
Probably had a trademark, couldn't do it.
Oh, it's an awesome name.
So yeah, we have all these archetypes. We have the day that's unfolding, which is Rex Manning Day, but it's also the last day of Empire Records.
Yes.
Before it gets transitioned over. Now, Joe had a plan. His plan was to buy out the shares or the interest of the douchebag that owns Empire Records, and he was going to take it over.
Yes. But
in lieu of that, they were going to sell the store to a big box store and make it into yet another big end, crappy, what is it? Music Town?
Music Town. And he was going to do it with $9,000.
No.
Oh, the $9,000.
The $9,000 is what was going to come out of his money.
Okay.
To help pay for that. But yeah, see.
Because 1995, even 9,000.
Yeah, but Lucas spent $9,000 and he's not going to let Lucas go to jail because he loves the kid.
That's true, yeah.
So he obviously was going to pay for it, and now he's mad about it because he fucked up his plans. And he can't figure out why Lucas would do that to him.
Yeah, and again, it's not so much that Lucas is being malicious, he's just being a doof.
Well, we see in the end that actually, if you look at it at the end of the movie, Lucas being Entropy kind of knew all along where this was going. Yeah. It's weird, but it's almost like he's a trickster god in this aspect because he resorts back to the Zen mode.
Yeah. After he gets his ass handed to him.
But at the very end, he resorts back to Zen mode when everything works out.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
I told you. I knew.
Yeah, this is kind of where it was. This is where he
Aren't you glad
the ball rolling.
I fucked up? Because if I hadn't fucked up, we wouldn't be here right now.
I don't think he says fucked up.
No, I'm just saying.
Because the thing is, he knows where this was headed, so he did this deliberately in some way.
There's nothing deliberate about your actions. I'm sorry. But what I do love is the fact that he is told to not get off that couch, and eventually he gets off the couch, but he carries around the couch cushion with him, because that, I guess in his mind, means I'm still with the couch.
And somehow that works.
I know.
But he does keep it with him.
All movie long. Well, every time you see him.
He doesn't keep it with the chase.
No, because that's different. And, I think that's an acceptable exception because he is chasing down a shoplifter.
Warren Beatty.
Yes, Warren Beatty.
The actor, not the kid.
I was going to say the character, not the actor. The actor is Brandon Sexton III. But yeah, he chases down Warren Beatty, and this was post Dick Tracy, so I might have chased down Warren Beatty myself.
Do you know he owns the rights to Dick Tracy?
I did not know he owned the rights to Dick Tracy.
He bought the rights to Dick Tracy. He owns it. He is making... Well, supposedly he was going to make another movie, another Dick Tracy movie.
I had heard that, but now they're all quite old to be pulling off Dick Tracy. Yeah. At the time, I could see it, But
I think he did an online, like a podcast radio play.
Oh, I could see him doing that.
I think they did that.
That was another one of my favorites. While I do love like whole, certain albums, that I love some soundtracks, and that's one of my soundtrack favorites is the Dick Tracy soundtrack. Madonna did that, and it was awesome. And Sooner or Later. That was like a song I think I sang to you one time.
Yeah,
Ha
you
ha
did.
ha. That was my song.
It's one of my favorites. It
But
was a good time. Really enjoyed that night.
so we have, you know,
So,
there's so much.
okay, well, what we have are a series of events that have to come to a conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, we hit those conflicts. So there's these confrontations that happen throughout the film.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is, oddly enough, a mock funeral for Deborah.
Yes.
Because they know she tried to kill herself. They see the bandage.
Yes.
They've called her out for it, but she won't talk about it.
No, but she does say that she did it with a pink razor that had the...
This is during the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she says that she did it with a pink Lady Bic.
Yeah, and how it, with a little sensor strip on it. And it took her forever to get through her skin. So, yeah, she at least, admits it had daisies on it, yeah.
Right. And this is one of those, like, moments where it's just, like, very...
You hear Suicide is Painless in the background.
I get...
You don't, but yes.
It is reminiscent of the MASH scene in the movie MASH. But that is more comical.
Mm-hmm. This is not.
In a way, it's more comical. I don't know that it actually is more comical. I think the one in MASH is a lot more serious in the fact that the man is having a breakdown and it's during a war.
Yes, well, there's that.
But I don't think it's less emotional. I think it's just more heightened emotional.
Yes, well, I think with MASH, because you're in the characters are in the middle of a war, and like you said, and because of that, and
Korean War, I should add, not Vietnam. A lot of people get that confused.
I always say to people, everything I know about the Korean War I learned from MASH, the TV show.
That's where most people learned it, even the people that served in Korea.
Hey, I had a history teacher that told me that I wasn't that far off with that show, with the
And he was a Korean vet. So
he was.
Yeah.
No. Was he? Was that the one that was the Korean vet?
I thought you told me he was.
I think he was. Well, I've had a few that were, and weirdly enough, he was one of them.
Or did he just go vacation in Korea?
I had one who he would tell stories about how they would shoot at each other across the demilitarized zone, and which in my head at the time was this big gaping ravine with cement on either side, like almost like a dam on both sides.
That would be awesome.
That's how I pictured it.
That would be very...
Because again, I didn't know what the demilitarized zone was, because again, he didn't actually teach us history.
I wonder who built that.
In my head, that's what it was.
Do you think there's a third neutral party that comes in and
just builds trenches, just deep ravines, and then
Hold on, everyone, time out.
We're gonna have a war. We got to do this first.
I'm gonna build the DMZ here. Just hold on.
So then I also had another one who was in both. He was in Vietnam and he was in Korea. No, was he? No, he was in Vietnam, and he told us the story about the Vietnamese villagers who were shooting at the helicopters with bow and arrow. I know this has nothing to do with our movie, but you mentioned
nothing at all.
I mentioned the Korean War, and now I'm on a tangent. Hence my tangents. So yes.
So the mock funeral.
The mock funeral.
They lay Deborah down on a table.
Yes.
With candles around her and a satin pillow where they get from somewhere.
Yes.
And Corey is leading the funeral.
Yes.
And they say things about her. And in this case, it is a very real visualization of her being seen.
Mm-hmm.
This is them seeing Deborah. They don't have answers for her.
No.
They don't even have good things to say about her necessarily.
No.
But that's not what she's looking for. She just wants to be acknowledged, to be seen as a human being, to be seen as a person.
So it's weird. Just yesterday, I think it was, I had, there was this thing online, and it was talking about suicide, and it was talking about how we don't deal with, like, if you're the person who actually completes suicide, you don't have to deal with the world. the world stops for you, but the world does not stop for everybody else. And the consequences of your actions. Now, not to put that the blame on the person who's dealing with the struggle, but they feel like they're alone and they feel like there's nothing left for them. And yet all of the people who now have to deal with this are still there, and they always were there. It was just that the person who is gone didn't take the initiative, or didn't understand, or didn't know, or didn't feel safe, or didn't feel strong enough. And that not only should you reach out if you feel this way, but people who are in that person's life and you see them acting different, or just, if they're just a dour person, just constantly check in with the people that you love, because you don't know, and how our lives are still going to have to go on, and we're going to have to deal with the repercussions, the secondary, whatever happens after that person is gone. Not even just that they're gone, but the gaping hole that is now there.
Sure.
And having to deal with that. And Deborah gets to almost see this in a way. This is her getting to have this mock funeral and see that there are people who still care, even if they don't really know her. But there's still people in this world that think she matters. So she was giving that was actually like a gift in a way. And well, then they all start like talking about each other. Like, Corey starts saying how she misses Gina.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is this is the catharsis for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just for Deborah.
No, Gina.
She wants to be seen, and part of that is including her in their lives, including in their own troubles.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, she gets up and walks out, but that's her choice. She has that agency to do that.
And if she had committed and completed, she wouldn't even have any. Yeah.
Right. She knows she wouldn't have that. There's things worth fighting for.
Yes.
And that's where we get Gina, who finally stands up. And during the party that Mark does the benefit concert for, she's up on the, I guess not the roof, but the awning or whatever.
Yeah.
And with the band, and she gets to sing.
Yeah, and she does good. She does really good.
Yeah, part of Sugar High.
Yeah.
Sugar High.
Sugar High. Sugar High.
And that's,
sugar high.
And that's part of the music in the entire thing. We got like gin blossoms and fucking the martinis, and just, it's a weird mix of fucking music.
Oh, yeah. Again, Yoko Ono.
Yeah, because you'll have ape hangers one second, and then you got something.
The best things in life are free.
So there's a lot of, but it all works. It all works
yeah.
together, because it's supposed to be this menagerie. And you have all these kids who are from different backgrounds, but they're essentially the same in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the adults, while I think they're the bumpers for those steel balls to go bouncing around in. They're not there to really tell them what to do. They're just there to be the thing they rebound off of.
Yeah.
Even Rex Manning. It's his day.
It's his day.
But they make fun of him.
Oh, yeah.
They make fun of everybody there, pretty much. But the people that can't manage it are the adults. They're the ones that can't manage the being made fun of.
Oh, yeah. It's also, I feel like it's funny because, again, not seeing the movie when I was younger, but it really reinforces my belief that music is for the youth, written by the youth. It is the story of our time at that time. Again, it's not necessarily a historical snapshot, but it definitely tells a story of the culture, the pop culture of that time. And I've always said that, but this movie definitely is that snapshot of pop culture in the 90s. And while, yes, it is taking pictures of all sorts, it's a broad stroke of music wise, it's still showing you the clothing, the hair, the sensibility, the way they just, their behaviors, things don't change yet. They still, they change, but they also stay the same. And they're just showing you this movie is definitely a snapshot.
I will say that this is a snapshot of a white cishet
Oh God, yes.
culture.
Go. Yeah, it
It is
not
not
diverse in
yeah.
any universe.
There is no person of color in
No.
this. There are no gay people.
No.
No
That
out,
we know of.
There's no out gay people
Yeah.
in this. And there's no trans people. You're not seeing any representation from
No.
anyone other than white cishet people.
But again, that is a snapshot of that time period in popular culture, because in even 1995, you had
popular
your TV
culture for white people,
yeah,
sure.
you had your TV shows with people of color, but they were not mainstream. I mean, they were mainstream in you had your TGI Fridays, you had Steve Urkel, the Cosby Show. You had your shows. You had shows on TV. You had the representation, but it was so minor, and it wasn't big enough where they should have had people of color in this movie. But in this time period, again, if you're looking at I'm not sure if I'm saying what I mean here. Not realistic snapshot, not like everyday people where you are going to take a picture and you're going to see people of color and you're going to see other people, a diverse culture. But what you're going to see is Hollywood's version of 1995 is what you're going to see in this movie.
Yeah, that's
which
obvious.
I'm saying. Movie. Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that yes, it's not going to have people. I'm not justifying there not being a diverse cast. I'm saying it didn't have a diverse cast because 1995 of it all. That's why.
Well, black people existed in 1995.
Yeah, but did they exist to the people who were making movies? No, they did not, because the people who made movies saw them as quote unquote the token people. So the fact that that when we did,
I know you're working very hard here for this. I just made the comment.
I know,
that
and I'm
this
just
is a white cishet.
And I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying.
Thing.
I'm just saying for my reasons of why. We're not. Oh my God, Tremors is such an anomaly of a movie because it has a not fully diverse, but a diverse-er.
And yet they did it with almost no thought whatsoever.
Exactly. So it wouldn't have been too hard for them to do that for any of these movies. But they didn't. Again, the 1995 of it all.
They made a choice not to do it.
They made a choice not to do it.
It wasn't that they just didn't know that there were black actors they could use in this. They just chose not to do it.
But when I say it's a snapshot, I'm thinking of my life, and I'm not a person of color. And my life, even though I was not living that particular life at the time and why I couldn't relate to it, like I said, the styles, the haircuts, the music, it pulls me back into it. Even though I wasn't living that life, I recognize it's fair. Again, it's the nostalgia. I'm ranting. I don't know.
Okay. There is no resolution
No.
in this movie. It's not supposed to have resolution. You get the sense that Joe is going to get the store because the guy just gives up.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to deal with this bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
That's probably the most realistic thing I've seen in a movie for children. But yeah, so that's all you get out of this.
Yeah.
AJ does tell Corey that he loves her, but she's upset because Rick Manning turned her down.
Mm-hmm.
So she rejects AJ, and AJ's upset. So he does other things.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't talk to her again for a while. They reconnect at the end. Deborah gets to be seen.
Yep.
Gina gets respect from the person she cares about, which is Corey, but also she gets to try and sing in public.
Yeah, and she gets to show that she's better. She's got more talent than just using her body.
Right. And in the end, Lucas gets redemption because they did work out. The things did work out. Even if he didn't make all that happen, It seems like he did.
And honestly, the best part of the movie is when the party is happening and everyone is doing their partying thing. And the asshole guy, he's running the cash register and he's like, does anybody work here? And Warren Beatty's like, I'll take over. Don't worry. I got this.
Because they gave him a tag that says he works there, even though he wasn't hired.
No, he was not hired. Oh, Warren.
So how do you feel about the Castellini test?
I think it's going to actually pass.
Okay, let's see. There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
Okay, we got Gina, you have Deb, you have Corey, you also have Jane.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
Plenty. Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
Okay, that happens constantly. I mean,
pretty much, it's a workplace.
Yeah, it's a workplace.
So you have Corey and Gina talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah's mock funeral, where no one's talking about their relationship.
Yeah, well, even Deborah and Gina arguing at the cash registers, you know.
Right? Gina and Deborah talking. You get a lot of crosstalk throughout the film.
Everybody making fun of everybody.
And almost none of it is really about a relationship.
No.
AJ and Corey's relationship, that happens.
Yeah.
But it's a small part.
And the Rex Manning thing, but really, is that a relationship or a hookup?
It's not a relationship.
No. It's a daydream.
That passes. At least one of the women has to be an integral part to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
This is where it's going to get kind of spicy because it's hard because it's such a huge cast.
I've actually got one. You want to hear it?
Sure.
It's Corey. Corey is the linchpin. Not on purpose.
Okay.
When she breaks down after trying to have sex with Rex Manning,
mm-hmm.
it causes several confrontations to happen which change the path or trajectory of the movie.
Okay.
So her relationship with AJ changes. Her arc of, her perfectionism
mm-hmm.
changes things because it's, she shows up vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And without Corey, you lose the tension of the story of Rex Manning altogether.
True. You do, because there's no buildup anymore.
Right. And without that, you wouldn't have had the outbursts, which causes the entire story to change the trajectory of what Lucas set up at the start.
Yes.
Of them losing the store. Mark steps up.
Yes, he does, actually.
Because of this breakdown with Rex Manning and him walking out.
Yes. So, no, you're right. You're right.
I saved the day.
Woohoo!
Yes, Corey. Also, I think Deborah also qualifies.
Oh, yeah. I know. I was going to say Deborah would have been the one who I think would have been more key than... But you're right.
In a more ancillary way, I think. Her suicide attempt, the funeral is where a lot of people got to discuss their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of come together during that moment.
Yeah.
And I think that she, above anyone, is the anchor for a lot of people because she's the only one that's half serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like Joe, they kind of orbit around her even if they don't necessarily care about her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Corey is definitely the main, plot point in the movie that if she were not there, would wildly diverge from the ending.
No, you're right. I agree with you on that. Well, if you would like to watch Empire Records, you can watch it on Plex, Netflix, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Google Play, or Fandango at home. And it will run between being free on Plex to subscription to $2.99 to $3.99 for rental.
Yeah, so it's Rex Manning Day.
Well, it's a few months late, but yes.
This has been What's More with Feelings with Beth and Michelle. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at OMWFPod. Visit our page at oncemorewithfeelings.podbean.com or send us an email at omwfpod@gmail.com. You can take a moment to subscribe and rate us on iTunes or wherever the hell you listen to our podcasts. You can see us on the link tree in our bio.
Side note, one of the songs that they play at the end of the movie, they didn't actually sing this chorus. They sang the rest of it, but they were like, in a world of human wreckage. I always thought they were saying rickets.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so here are your clues for next week, my friends. First one is 3 of the actors in this film reunite in 2012 for the movie El Dorado. And the second clue is, and this is where you might either get it or you're going to go, what the fuck are they smoking? The song Rakes of Mallow is whistled by a fish. So you're either going to know it or you're going to think the crack pipe's been passed about.
It could be both.
It could be both.
2 things can be true.
Both are good.
I don't have an ending.
I don't have an ending. Rex Manning Day! Woo!
Sugar high?
Sugar high. Watermelon sugar high.
That is not the song. Different song.
Different song.
You are fired.
I am fired.
Oh, we mustn't dwell. No. No, not today. We can't. Not on Rex Manning Day.
I heard you on the wireless back in 50.